Hi, everyone. This is Rob Roy, and welcome to the HUBB Financial Crypto Show, where we talk about all things crypto with expert Mr. Brandon Burton that I'll bring in just a moment. But before we do that, let's just get caught up on what's been going on this whirlwind start to the week here in the markets. As you probably are aware, over the weekend, we had President Trump enact or threaten to enact. He said they were going to on February 1st, the tariffs on Canada and Mexico. And then the futures opened up Sunday night down, almost limit down, not quite, but almost. Market opens up, runs to the downside, and then came out that, maybe not so much. And Canada said that they were going to put their tariffs on Tuesday, and Mexico said they were going to announce their tariffs or their plan for tariffs in retaliation on Monday. And then we get to Monday, and about an hour into the trade on Monday, I can switch over to the live chart real quick and show you where things turned on Monday morning. And you can, there's today. So we've had a nice little move to the upside today. But here's what happened yesterday. So we had a big downward move in the futures. We opened, the market was crawling lower, and then around 10:30 it came out, we'll pause the tariffs for a month. As they start having conversations with Canada and Mexico. It's all about the border stuff, at least from what President Trump says on fentanyl moving into the U.S., et cetera. But as soon as that announcement came, we rallied to the upside. The market seemed to try to digest it for a while, and then pretty much a little bit of movement up and down, but churning the rest of the day. And then had a little bit of a drop in the after hours last night, and then just basically full-on rally this morning as everybody seems to be playing nice. And it's almost like the market just ignored President Trump when he said he was going to do that. I mean, it was going all the way back to prior to the election and then inauguration. He said he was going to do these tariffs. And really, I think a lot of the people in the market felt like it was just posturing and it was leverage. And these were things that he was actually prepared to do if he didn't get what he wanted. But what he wanted was negotiations. He wanted to work things out, make deals, etc. And so that's been occurring. That bar that just happened there, that's a bad date. I think what happens is you get fat finger trades, we call them. So obviously the some exchange missed a trade when the market opened. And right here, you can see that move down. And then, so now they're fixing it, and then the exchange will incorporate that. That's not really, we didn't really trade down in that 1 3-minute bar. So that's a brief rundown of where we are. It seems like everybody's talking now and everybody's trying to work things out. So let's get back to what's going on in crypto, because it did affect the crypto markets over the weekend as well. And when the futures went down Sunday night, so did Bitcoin and all things crypto, and they've recovered rather nicely. We're back up near 100,000 on Bitcoin, but with all those things, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and we've got the guy that knows what's been happening back there and can fill you in. He's got lots of great information to talk to you about in this show, so let's bring him in. Without further ado, Mr. Brandon Burton. How you doing today, Brandon?
Another day, man. Busy weekend. You saw most of the craziness, but it's busy.
Yeah.
Holy
caught
cow.
your breath yet?
Geez.
Yeah. Have you caught your breath yet?
Have you? Oh, man. A lot.
Oh, wow. It has been wild. Yep, it sure has.
Well, let's get into it. Let's go over it. I don't know, Brian, if you can share my screen here, but look at this. Let's go over last week. And so much happened last week, we forgot to even kind of remember that DeepSeek happened Monday. That whole shenanigans where NVIDIA tanked too, DeepSeek Monday, Bitcoin dropped a couple thousand, $3,000. But remember, when I look at, this is the Bitcoin chart. So every time you see Bitcoin drop, the alts drop way lower. And I'll explain that when we get to the liquidations on Sunday. Wednesday, we had the FOMC meeting. That was kind of a crazy candle. We had a huge drop all of a sudden. So everything started right here. Everything dropped down to about 100,000 if you look at this line here, and then dropped right back up to 105,000 in just a little, I think it was like a 30-minute candle. And that's when Mr. Powell started to get a little bit more, shall we say, positive on Bitcoin. I think some people were in his ear. I don't know if you watched the press conference with Mr. Trump prior to Mr. Powell going out on stage or not, but Donald Trump said Mr. Powell will listen to him soon. So a lot of that happened. And then Friday afternoon, this is after market close, the tariffs were mentioned. You talked a little bit about that, so I won't rehash that. But the tariffs were mentioned. We all know the politics behind that. And then Saturday, things started to drift down in crypto. Sunday, I don't really cuss in the real world, and I don't cuss really right now, but I'll just say crap started to hit the fan on Sunday. Sunday, and I don't know if you know this, Rob, but Sunday, we had the biggest liquidation event in crypto ever. We're talking bigger than FTX, bigger than COVID, bigger than when Terra Luna crashed, the biggest ever. But Bitcoin only fell to about 93,000. Ethereum fell from 3,200 all the way to, it wicked all the way down to 2,100. So it was down at one point almost 39% in one single, basically daily candle. But even if you take the candles down, in an hour-long candle, it fell from 2,600 to 2,100, 500. So basically, oh my gosh, 20% in 1 hour candle. This was bigger than any liquidation event ever. Over $10 billion in long liquidations occurred, possibly more, because most of the API limits were reached on every single exchange to be able to report those numbers. So I don't know if we know the full effect, but $800 billion in market cap was wiped out.
Are you sure that's a B?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're fatty sure with a B. But the crazy thing is, you look at Bitcoin today, you wouldn't even know any of that happened, which is crazy. I don't even know what's going on. I know. It's like, what the heck? So anyway, so let's talk a little bit about what is going on right now. My kids, it's funny because they came home on Sunday with their homework. They came home and they showed me this homework right here. They showed me all these shapes they were going over. They're like, pentagon, you know what that is, Dad? Hexagon, octagon. And then they showed me this last shape. And they're like slapping my face. Portfolio gone. I'm like, kids, you know how to get me going. So anyway, so if you were trading on leverage, you got absolutely wiped out. But so what's happening now? Why the big comeback? Why the V recovery on Bitcoin? And frankly, most of the other coins, minus Ethereum, actually, which is kind of strange with the information I'm about to give you. So minus Ethereum. So we had this tweet come out happening now. So President Trump signs an executive order calling for the creation of a sovereign wealth fund, which is a big deal. The couple people on the side of President Trump there are both bullish crypto, more than you probably know, Rob. But then Cynthia Lummis comes out. She retweets that and she says, this is a big deal. But if you zoom in on Cynthia's tweet there, you look at this is a big deal. The B, the capital B, isn't a regular B. It's the Bitcoin B. So Cynthia Lummis, she's the senator from Wyoming who's pushing for a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Now, she's kind of turned into this like NFT meme coin poster. She's always like, we got a huge announcement coming up. She's turned into like the whole crypto crowd on Twitter. But regardless, she did retweet that. But then what do we get over the next, this was yesterday afternoon, Eric Trump came out and tweeted this. He says, in my opinion, it's a great time to add ETH. You can thank me later. So this is a very peculiar tweet, and I don't know how this isn't insider trading on a public scale, but for him to come out and say something like that, and then you go look at World Liberty Financial. If you don't know what World Liberty Financial, it's basically Donald Trump's kids type of project where they're doing a tokenization project, a RWA project, and then they're going to be doing lending. They're going to do all kinds of stuff. But one of the main things they've been buying every single day, and you can kind of see this on this next chart here, is they've been buying Ethereum like crazy. They buy $5 million of Ethereum almost every day. So over the past week, they've amassed a huge fortune of Ethereum. And for them to be buying Ethereum like this every single day tells me something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. And what's strange is if you look at the charts, and maybe you can pull these up, but if you look at the charts, from Friday to today, Bitcoin's even. Like, you wouldn't even know that whole tariff dip happened. But if you look at
Right.
Ethereum's chart, it's still down almost 12%, which is insane for it to be trading down with all this positive news coming out. And it just has not recovered since Friday, like Bitcoin and even Solana and the other ones have recovered. Ethereum's still trading in the crapper. So tell me this, Rob. Looking at that chart, what do you see in the chart? Because obviously you like looking at the TA. I just like looking at the background fundamental analysis and what's going on. But I think Ethereum might be making a move here soon. It's at all-time lows compared to Bitcoin and US dollar.
Yeah, and that, we talk about that just from a general portfolio management thing. I mentioned this before in other events that the way trading works normally with the professionals is when a sector is moving, and we call Bitcoin or crypto, not Bitcoin, but crypto is a sector. After you have certain things run, like we've had the meme stocks or the XRP and stuff like that have been moving, Ethereum has not. We did have this descending triangle, which means a breakout, and breakout it did. You never know which direction, and it just happened to coincide with all that tariff stuff that occurred over the weekend, as you mentioned. But then from a purely technical standpoint, what usually happens after you get the breakout is you retrace back to the point of the breakout. So it seems from just general rules, forgetting all the stuff that Eric Trump said and everything else, the expectation would be we're going to come all the way back here almost to 3250. We're going to at least get back to the point here. And then, you're the expert from there as far as what's likely to happen from there. But just from the charts and from a purely technical standpoint, without any other things in the background, other knowledge coming into play, that's what usually happens. So I don't think this recovery is over yet. I think we're coming back more from a technical standpoint. And then I turn to you for more information. But that's that was the downside breakout. That's happened. That's done. And we should move back up.
Interesting. So it might be worth, it might be worth taking a little flyer here, maybe a short trade in and out. But remember this too, there's always something happening in crypto. Today, we have the Crypto Czar meeting and doing a press conference at, I think it was 2:30 Eastern today. So be sure to watch out for that. Something might get said. You never know. So be nimble on your feet in crypto. And we saw that Sunday with the tariff news. It actually wasn't that big a deal. That's the negotiation tactics that Trump uses all the time. He used that in his first term, right? He's the art of the deal guy. He knows what he's negotiating, right? He's negotiating to get what he wants. But the crypto crowd got a little scared, man, and not all have got, well, I don't say little. That was the biggest liquidation event of all time in crypto. And so by little, I mean, if you weren't sitting on your hands just sleeping through Sunday, you might have got shaken out and you might have been a little scared and lost some money. Whereas if you just slept through Sunday, you're just fine. That's all you got to do sometimes in crypto.
I couldn't agree with you more on this being a negotiation tactic. And it wasn't just the crypto world that got spooked. He spooked the equities market too. And it's mind boggling when, he's been saying he was going to do this. It's not like there was any sort of a surprise, anything that was out of the blue. He's been talking about this for months, and then he did it, and then everybody freaks out. It was really nuts. But I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Trump signed the executive order for the sovereign wealth fund that he wants to create for the U.S., similar to what other countries, over in the Middle East, et cetera, that they do. And he's talking about how that could potentially buy TikTok, et cetera. Is that the start of what he's going to use to purchase Bitcoin? Have you heard anything along the lines regarding this sovereign wealth fund that the U.S. is going to have?
No, that's not what he's going to use. He's going to use a separate. He's going to have to create something separate, and it's going to require different legislation. So these will be potentially two different piles of Bitcoin, which could be possibly better for Bitcoin. I don't know if we want to share one last thing on my screen here. Sorry, I didn't have it pulled up. But I think what needs to happen is legislation needs to happen on every single level. And what's happening right now is the states are all creating their individual Bitcoin reserves. You can see on this map here, we have all of these states that we have listed on this or shown on this map with the B on it are at different levels along the process of creating their own strategic Bitcoin reserves at a state level. The national level needs to do that as well. So that is completely different than the strategic or the sovereign wealth fund. The sovereign wealth fund, I think, could include crypto, but it's going to be used for, just like you said, things like it's going to be used for TikTok. The strategic reserve is more of a holdings to stabilize the U.S. Now, this is TikTok. He said, I saw a tweet earlier, he's going to build new infrastructure, roads, that kind of stuff. So kind of crazy, but.
Yeah, interesting. So yeah, just to clarify this, these states that are doing this for their individual state reserves, that's totally different than what Trump's been talking about as far as a national reserve in Bitcoin, correct?
Yeah, in addition to, if you're not bullish on Bitcoin right now, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, you were talking about
Anyway.
sleeping through Sunday, and if you got scared and shaken out, and we always talk about shaking out the weak hands in the equities market when some sort of a big event like this happens. But the same thing there. But gosh, if you would have been really nimble, you could have gotten one of the maybe last great buying opportunities for a while here, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you were able to nab any of those, there's a lot of people that did. I mean, they see those dips, and those are buying opportunities for a lot of people. So they grab hold of those and hang on. So yeah.
Yeah, it's the old Buffett phrase, right? You buy when there's blood in the streets. So and that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like Sunday night, wasn't it?
It was so bad. It was so bad. Oh my goodness, Rob.
I'm going to use that graphic on Portfolio Gone. That's one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen. That's great. Kudos to your kids, man. Kudos to your kids for coming up with that. That was awesome.
Sure. It's so funny. Sent me home. Yes. Anyway, if you guys need more information on this stuff, obviously we talk about this stuff 5 days a week, and I definitely hop on this because there is so much going on in crypto. I listened to podcasts from last Wednesday, and they're already out of date sometimes on crypto. I'm like, nah, you need to stay up on this stuff every single day to know what's going on, especially the stuff that we're looking at purchasing and getting into. Go ahead and check us out over at Digital Investor. We'll put the link in the description or on the screen or wherever we need to do it so you guys can find us. But go ahead and find us over there. We're going to get this thing going this year.
One last question, if I could, Brandon, and everybody should take advantage of. Obviously, if they tune in each and every week, they know that you have all the behind the scenes info, and I learn something every time we talk. One last question on Solana. It's had a pretty nice move. It moved down a little bit, but not too significantly. With all the craziness, it's back as well. Any thoughts on Solana, or are you just more on Ethereum right now?
Oh no, I mean I don't mind Ethereum or Solana. So I don't mind Solana right now. The way we're playing Solana is through the picks and shovels play. We're getting a lot of Jupiter. We're building up our Jupiter position, and Jupiter is it's decentralized decentralized DEX aggregator on Solana. So any of the meme coin trades, any of the staking, any of the perp trades go through Jupiter that are on Solana. So we've been using that to I guess exponentialize our position on Solana.
Yeah, I was going to be my final question because last time we chatted, I asked right at the very end, what's your favorite right now, and you said Jupiter. So wanted to follow up with that. So you just did, and Brandon, thanks. I know you're busy. I know you got another couple shows going on. So thanks so much for spending a few minutes with us, filling us in on all the craziness that occurred in crypto land, with the craziness with the equities market and tariffs. And I look forward to talking to you again soon, my friend. Appreciate it very much.
Okay.
Take care.
Yeah, we'll see ya.
Take care, everybody.